Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Co Show. My name is Mason Co. Here with my co-host Aaron Co. Today is what day is it today? Saturday, May 23rd.
Who knows?
Yeah,
Oh no.
seriously, time's moving at an all-time slow. But we're a week past your birthday. How was it?
Uh, you know, they sort of less interesting every year. It's like who the fuck cares? Just get it over with.
Yeah.
Mark it off. No, it was fun. It was good. Had a good time.
Good. All right. Yeah. I mean, it's hard, obviously during these times, hard to kind of celebrate that kind of stuff. But regardless, let's get into our business shout outs. First of all, I want to shout out Seattle Golf Club. I've been working there for 6 days now. And good. It's good people, fun time, beautiful. So yeah, go become a member, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be fun to watch you play on that one.
Oh God,
Just
yeah. Seriously, yeah.
at least you know where to go.
I get employee golf like every Monday or something if I want it, and I'm just too scared to even go. I know I'll just completely shit the bed. Like I'll be all over the place in front of the people that have college golfers and all the people that roll through there. So
And so the other one that we were going to talk about was Tobless in Mill Creek Town Center. It's kind of what is that place? Kind of I don't even know what it is. It's a tapas place.
yeah,
And they just have really good food there. Great happy hour. Of course, we're not quite to happy hour yet, but we're getting there. But they do have to go food, and their food is real. Like it's so good.
hmm
It's very kind of delicate and just refined and just really good stuff. So highly recommend going there. They've got great sangria also. So after you get done on the golf course, go get some good food and then sangria, and you're good
yeah.
to go.
Okay, so into the news on. I think I can confidently say this is the slowest week of sports news in all time, like ever since like 19 since maybe World War I. This week is probably the slowest sports news week of all time. We got Joe Flacco to the Jets
Ooh,
on a
wow,
1 year.
really?
Yeah, whoa.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Sam Darnold, he's already headed on that mediocre path, and Joe Flacco will just help him get right there with his mentorship. I mean, yeah, who cares, honestly?
Yeah.
I think it's like, oh, I think it's only a 1 year deal, so it'll be interesting. I mean, I don't know. They have like five quarterbacks right now, so I don't know what they're really gonna do. I mean, I guess good for Flacco finding a place. I figured he'd probably be done after this last year. He got injured and wasn't doing good already, so I thought he was gonna be done. But it's cool. Cool to see. Maybe he wants to mentor a guy or whatever. So
He's had an interesting career path. Um, I think I'm trying to remember where he started out in college. He started out at a pretty big school, like a Penn State or something
right.
like
Oh
that. I
yeah.
forget which one. Pretty big name school though. Um, finds out. I think he got not only was he not the backup, but he was third string. So he goes to is it Delaware?
Delaware. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes to Delaware and ends up being a first round pick. Sort of a so first part of his career, but then he goes on this great run, wins a Super Bowl. I believe he was the Super Bowl MVP
Mm-hmm.
and gets paid, got
Oh
big
yeah.
time paid, and then was kind of on a slow. Well, then he dropped back down to mediocre
Uh-huh.
and slow decline to suckland after that. So yeah, he's probably not going to contribute a whole lot, but he is a guy that could probably mentor somebody and also play at a game manager level. Although the Jets are not. He's not, he's a mentor guy, but he's not. I mean, they're not good enough to have him come in and help you win games because they need a quarterback who can win it pretty much by
Yeah.
themselves because they're
Yeah.
terrible. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
In slightly more interesting news, Carlos Hyde to the Seahawks. You said it was reportedly around like 2 to 5 million.
So I think the I believe it's up to 4 million
Okay.
was the number. So there's some incentives there. It's a little bit cloudy exactly but the what I heard was up to 4 million with somewhere around 2.5 to 3 guaranteed. So not huge money, not nothing. A little more cap room eaten up there. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that signing?
I think I like it. If it's especially if it's in the 2 to 3 million range, I'll really like it. I think Hyde is just a solid dude. He had 1,000 yards last season. He was actually on my fantasy team. So, anyone that's a somewhat regular starter on a fantasy team, I would look at as a fairly valuable running back. The question is, what's the situation with Chris Carson? When will Rashad Penny come back? Where does Carlos Hyde really fit in? I mean, if he's a guy that can just eat some carries because, there's a feeling that Chris Carson could possibly hold out, and also who knows when Penny will return. I feel like he's a good guy that can step in there and really fill in if we need him. I don't know if I like him a ton as a number one guy, so it's only a 1 year, so I don't think that's really the intention that he comes in to be the premier back or anything. But yeah, I think I like it. What about you?
So the word out there has been that Rashad Penny's not going to be ready to go at the beginning of the season. So they needed somebody. They drafted DJ Dallas later in the draft, but he's a rookie. You don't know what he's going to be able to contribute, if anything. Marshawn, I love Marshawn, but we can't.
I hope he doesn't come back.
I kind of, yeah. I know we love it. It's fun. We love to hear him talk, and we love to hear him not talk.
Yeah.
It's almost better than when he talks.
Yeah.
Love you, Marshawn, but yeah, I can't. He can't be someone that we count on.
No.
He could come in for a couple of games if everybody gets hurt again. That's okay, but he can't be a guy that has a major role throughout the season. I think we learned that Travis Homer probably isn't somebody that you want playing. It doesn't mean, is he a practice squad guy? That's fine. But I just don't see what he really brings. So with Penny not, and then you got Carson, who I love Chris Carson. I love the way he runs, but he gets hurt, and he seems to get hurt at critical times a lot. So you have to have somebody, we've talked about running backs. Maybe they're not, you don't want to pay big money for a running back, but you do have to have a decent.
So yeah, let's actually.
You have to have somebody decent to hand the ball to a few times a game, and.
Yeah, let's actually kind of talk about that. What do you want us to do with Chris Carson? Say he holds out.
If he holds out, I think you just got to move on. I really like Chris Carson, but in this you can't give him a big contract. I think he's going to be about 28 years old, so he's maybe got a couple of years left. But I get it from his angle. So he's going to be, so he plays one more year and then he's going to be a free agent. What's he going to get on the open market? If I'm sure, like, if I were him, I'd want to get paid something now, because I don't know what his contract number is, but he was a 7th round pick. So
yeah, it's not a lot.
I don't even think it's $1 million. So if I were him, I'd be like, at least give me a few million, for taking the ball 300 times. He has probably earned that, but if I'm managing the team and the cap being the biggest part of it, I'm probably not going to pay him, and I'm probably just going to, if he holds out, I'm probably just going to move on. And now you've got Carlos Hyde, who's at least a proven solid guy that you can put in there. So it could be also just a little bit of a message to Chris Carson, like, hey, dude, we have a guy, so sorry, but you've done a lot for us. And it's too bad. If that guy gets drafted in the first round, he's, not I know running backs never in the first round. Yeah. Yes, I know. Yeah. But if you could redo that draft that year, he's probably worthy of a 2nd or 3rd round pick the way he's played.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which, would have given him millions of dollars. You could argue
a first round, I think. What year did he get picked in the same year as Penny?
No.
What?
A year, maybe a year before.
Okay.
Because Penny's only been in the league for 2 years. Carson has been at least 3.
Yeah.
So, and then Penny, it sounds like, again, if he's not ready to go, I mean, he looked good at times, but how's he going to come back? When's he going to come back? So he starts the season on the PUP, the physically unable to perform list.
Mm-hmm.
So that means he's probably out at least 6 games. And then you've got Hyde and hopefully Carson in there, and then mixing in a DJ Dallas who can catch the ball hopefully. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Back to him being worth a 2nd round pick. I definitely would have taken him over Malik McDowell, which is who our first pick of that draft was, 35th overall.
Would you have picked me over Malik McDowell?
I think he could have brought some morale to the team. I think you could have been someone that guys could have just lit up in practice to kind of relieve some stress. At least that. I mean, Malik McDowell offered absolutely nothing, like 0 at all. So I feel like if you were in the building, you'd be able to offer. You'd find your lane. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You'd find your lane.
Yeah, I get creamed a couple times, make people laugh at least.
Yeah, yeah.
On the football field, not off the field.
Yeah, exactly, so. Exactly.
Oh, Malik McDowell, or Malik McDowell, as Sean Alexander announced him at the draft.
Malik.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. All right. So this is something that I talked to shout out Alec about a little bit yesterday. I think it was yesterday. The MLB draft, this has been known for, I think, a while now, but we didn't really dive into it yet. The MLB draft is only going down to 5 rounds from, oh, God, I should have looked this up beforehand. How many rounds is that?
I think it's been 40 the last couple of years, and it was 50 before that. And there was a time where it was unlimited, so you would actually see... Because I think, it was who went in the Hall of Fame with Griffey, the catcher, who wasn't great at catching.
Piazza.
Piazza, he was at, I don't know what round, 57th round.
Yeah.
It was way past 50. So they used to, everybody drafted for 50 rounds, and then anyone who wanted to draft could keep drafting. So some years you would see the same team would have the last 5 picks, and they were all in
That's
different
funny.
rounds.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's actually really.
But they
funny.
did cut that off.
Yeah.
And I think they may have dropped it down to 40 a couple years ago. And yeah, I mean, it's just teams haven't scouted. There wasn't a season to watch.
Yeah.
So they probably, part of it is money, and part of it is who the hell do you draft? I mean, you have notes on guys from a year ago, but gosh, these guys, especially the high school guys, I mean, they can change dramatically in a year, or not change like you thought they would.
Right.
Sometimes they don't grow like you thought, or they don't get faster like you thought. So, and they're just But yeah, it's a bummer. I feel bad. I mean, we've been around baseball a lot, and we know guys in that realm, and it sucks when you at least want that dream that you have a chance to get drafted, and now it's it's going to be tough for anybody.
Yeah, and the thing that really sucks to me is when the NBA shortened its draft, it actually served to benefit players, because they could choose. Say you're a point guard coming out, and you're drafted in the 4th round by the Rockets, who are just loaded on guards, and
right.
you get cut. You don't make the team. Well, with them cutting the draft to 2 rounds, that 4th round pick, maybe he decides to go to, I don't know, a place like Philly, where they got Ben Simmons, and then they don't have a ton of depth behind that. So it served to, I would say, them cutting the draft actually helped players, because they could choose whatever situation fit them the best. Even down to I would rather live in Boston than San Antonio, so I'm just gonna sign with Boston.
I believe in both the NFL and the NBA, the players are the ones that wanted the draft shortened in those situations, because they wanted that. So if you don't get drafted in the NFL, if you don't get drafted through the 7th round,
you have a decent shot at signing someone.
It's almost, some people would tell you, I would rather not get drafted than be drafted in the 7th round, because I can go somewhere where I can, my agent and I can look at the rosters and see, okay, where's a good spot? Who's short? I'm a wide receiver. Who might have a realistic opening there for me. So, but yeah, that's not what's happening here. This is, yeah, it's a different deal.
And
Plus, they're cutting the money way down. So that's
and they have been cutting teams, so there is a necessity probably to cut down on rounds because you just don't have as many spots. But cutting all the way down to 5, I mean that's such a massive change. I mean you're cutting the draft by like 80% or something. Like it's just pretty nuts. And I correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you actually know if this is true or not. I'm pretty sure Alec told me that undrafted free agents can only sign for $20K.
That's correct.
Which is, I mean, a guy that's picked in round 20, I would say probably would definitely make more than $20K. And now you got guys that would have been drafted in round 6 only making that.
So there are going to be 5 rounds in the draft. I saw somewhere, I believe last year, there were 393 players drafted after the 5th round who made 6 figures, so at least $100,000 for a signing bonus. So that's a lot of guys.
393 guys getting their money cut by 80%
at
or
least.
more.
Yeah,
at least 80%, and then also however many more guys that made in between 20 and 100K that are getting their salary cut still by 50, 70%. I mean, it's just it's bad. I don't know if the MLB, I don't know if they had kind of been planning to do not this big of a cut already, but if they saw this as an opportunity to save money, or because it seems kind of absurd to me that you would cut from 40 to 5. Yeah.
I think they're basically sending a message like, don't come out this year.
Yeah. Stay
in college or go to college. Like we don't want you right now, because they may not have a minor league season.
Yeah.
So you draft guys and they sit on their thumbs for a season. So I think that's part of it. It's tough. And the other thing about the MLB that's so different than football or basketball too is if you get drafted in the NBA in the first or second round, if you get drafted in the first round, you get a guaranteed contract.
Yeah.
So you are making the team.
Yeah, I think it's 3 years, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed.
If you get drafted in the second round, there are no guarantees there. However, they're going to give you a real shot.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't make it, you're going to go play in the G League or somewhere, or Europe or somewhere.
Yeah.
You're still going to have some sort of career.
Yeah.
In
you
the
get
NFL,
paid a decent amount overseas. You can really get paid overseas.
Yeah.
So
then the NFL, if you're fifth, sixth, seventh round, there's a chance you're going to get cut, but you're probably going to get on the practice squad and at least make a decent salary. Not an NFL salary. Not the it's less than the league minimum, but it's still more than you or I make.
Yeah.
So it's still a decent number. So guys have a chance to get some paydays there with an opportunity for a realistic opportunity. Now the MLB, boy, think about it. If you're drafting 50 players every year, and you have 25 guys on the active roster.
Yeah.
And you're bringing in 50 guys every year, like do the math on that. It's very, very difficult. So in the MLB draft, okay, NBA and NFL, your first contract isn't as big a deal. The opportunity is what you're looking for. In the MLB, your odds are so slim that you'll make it to the majors that your signing bonus, that may be all you get, because they make nothing while they play minor league ball.
No, not at all.
They can't even support themselves.
Yeah, they got to work another job.
Yeah. So they they're looking for that signing bonus, right? That's that may be the only payday they get. So that they're just so apples and oranges on what those drafts, how they work and what they mean. But yeah, a lot less opportunity. I think this is gonna hurt. I think this is gonna hurt MLB. I mean, if you're a multi-sport athlete, why would you look at baseball right now? If you're an elite, level guy, like what, why boy, my odds of getting anything out of this are slim. Maybe I better go football.
Yeah.
So if you're, we've had a couple athletes out of here that had multiple opportunities to play different sports. Grady Sizemore out of Cascade, Travis Snyder out of Jackson.
Yeah.
He didn't keep playing football all the way through high school, but that guy would have been for sure a college football player.
Yeah.
If you're him now, you might be thinking, "Gosh, I don't know. Maybe I should, maybe I better go the football direction because there's more of an opportunity there." The other thing that's going to be tough is, so I'm sure so this will lead to a lot more guys saying, "Okay, I'm staying in college or I'm going to college." So if you're a high school prospect, unless you are like for sure top couple rounds, you're like, okay, I better go to college and see how that goes. But what that means is, the colleges are not upping their roster sizes or their scholarship numbers. So I believe a Division I baseball program gets, I think it's 11.7 scholarships or somewhere around there, and you need like 35 to 40 guys on your roster. So most guys are getting half or a quarter scholarships. And now it's going to be really hard to get those too because, some of the guys that would have normally gone pro are going to stay in college or go to college. And yeah, it's going to be tough. I think this is going to hurt. I really do think this is going to hurt MLB for a little bit and maybe even long term. It's just, I don't know. I just think it's kind of another short-sighted bad decision by a sport that is kind of dying a little bit, and some of it is self-inflicted, some of it's just a different fast-paced world that we lived in. But they should be finding ways to get better instead of making themselves worse, and I think that's what they're doing here, honestly.
And what's interesting is also Bowling Green dropped their baseball program. And there might be other ones to follow, so it's like, I mean, I don't know, this might not apply to any of the kids on Bowling Green, but what if you're a kid that like doesn't want to come out quite yet because you're probably gonna get picked, maybe you're a fringe 5th round pick, but chances are you're going 6, 7, 8, and then you decide to come back to school, and then your school gets cut, and then you got to try to find somewhere to transfer. But how does that eligibility work? Because if you're a senior, would you have to sit out a year? So it's just, I mean, there's potentially some kids getting like really, really, really screwed on both ends of it. Yeah, it's just really unfortunate. I don't know why they had to drop to only 5. I think they will go back up, right, after probably next year.
Well, the thing, what I was reading, it said that this is probably at least a 2-year situation, but they haven't said. I don't know that they've said for sure that they're going to 5 rounds. So I think they're still kicking that around, and some of that if things opened up today, they might do 10 rounds because they know they're going to have a minor league season.
Right.
But yeah, it's not looking real promising. So yeah, I think it's unfortunate. I think it's going to hurt baseball. I think another thing that's tricky about baseball is it's really hard to tell if a guy can play or not. Like,
yeah,
I've seen guys that were amazing athletes in high school, but they just can't hit a major league curveball.
Yeah, it's funny. It's kind of like that.
It's a different deal.
It's kind of like that moving every level. Level, you weed some out. It's like you got your like little league ballers, and then once they get up to 13, 14 years old, when they're playing select ball with, longer mounds and that kind of stuff. You see some guys that were like so dominant in little league in their ass, and you're like, whoa, what happened to you? Yeah. And then the same thing going from kind of that age to high school to college, and then especially college to kind of the minor leagues / MLB. That's where you obviously really see such a huge jump. But yeah, it's interesting, kind of. Like, for me personally, going through a few of those levels, seeing kind of what happened to guys as we all got older. But, yeah, it's,
So you're going to have guys quit. What about Mike Piazza? I'll bring up Mike Piazza again. Maybe that guy quits.
Yeah.
Maybe he just doesn't even ever play. Yeah. So there's going to be guys like that are like, oh man,
I think from
20
this,
grand. Okay, fuck it. I think I'm going to go, work for my dad's,
I think it's safe to say that the MLB misses out on maybe 2 to 3, so just maybe not stars, but just solid MLB guys from this year alone.
For sure. Yeah.
Like there's at least a few in there, which
yeah.
in the grand scheme of when you have 30 teams drafting for 40 rounds, it's like, okay, 2 to 3 guys, who cares? But then it's like that's also 2 to 3 guys that maybe they have to work as a prison guard now instead of making millions of dollars, traveling around and playing the game they love. So it's like, it's just, there's really no good way to kind of spin it. But I'm hoping that they can move the rounds back up soon. I mean,
I just don't, you need to find a way to make your product better. This makes it worse. Yes, you're going to save a few $1 million per team, but these guys are freaking rich. Like, don't, let's just stop. Yeah. Stop with your saving money. Look long term. What do you want your franchise to be worth 10 years from now? So stop thinking about saving $500,000, $2 million this year. Think about, I want my franchise value to go up. Think about, I just don't, they seem so short-sighted.
If I'm an
sometimes.
owner, I'm probably selling my team right now, or at least kind of looking into it, because I don't see, it's tough. I don't see how you can really make the product kind of fit today's world. It's just, you're still gonna have guys taking pitches, and there's still gonna be multiple minutes without a ball being put in play at a time.
They're going to do like some softball leagues I've played, and you start with a 1-1 count, which I hated that so much. They're going to have to do something
starting
crazy.
With a 1-1 count was
you do that in scrimmages.
I didn't even want to hit in those scrimmages. I'm not even kidding. I loved hitting, was absolutely my favorite part of baseball, no question about it. I would there was a couple times where I asked coaches, I was like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense at all. There's no reason to start with a 1-1 count. I mean, I guess obviously you want to keep things moving, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's just dumb. I don't know.
I don't know that they would do that, but they're gonna have to do something.
Yeah, they won't. Yeah, I mean, maybe they move the mound back or something.
Move it back. They could shorten the base paths a little bit to make running more of a thing. There's stuff that they could do that would probably make it more interesting. But my God, I mean, it would make some of us purists just.
That's the thing. I feel like if you do shit like that, you're just gonna lose the purist. You're just gonna lose the purist, and still everyone's gonna be like, baseball boring. Baseball boring. Yeah. Not gonna watch. Baseball boring.
It does seem, I don't know, it does seem kind of hopeless, I guess.
I mean, you gotta, it's tough because you had to have played the sport or have been watching it for long enough to kind of understand, and we've had this conversation on this podcast before, you have to have had played the game or watched it for a certain amount of time to understand kind of the little things and, everything that goes into it, but it's like, nowadays, why would a kid spend the time learning about it when he could watch he could watch, not only can he watch other sports, but he can watch replays of other sports, highlights on YouTube. He could, just play video games. There's so many different things that kids can do nowadays. Why would you spend the time learning about the ins and outs, the little nuances of a sport that on the outside looking in, I could definitely see why it would be boring to someone. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. Okay, so speaking kind of the MLB, in relation to the NBA, the NBA, it seems like players and everyone is just fighting to make sure they can play again. Everyone wants to play. The MLB, man, the players and the owners, there is absolutely, they are not collaborating on this. It is, they're negotiating and stuff, which seems weird. I don't know how... Did they not? I mean, it seems like their system was not set up well for something to go wrong. You know what I mean?
Well, there's another issue, too, is just the way the TV deals work. So in the NBA has a much bigger national TV deal, where baseball, a lot of the TV deals are more regionalized. Yeah. So, so it may be harder for baseball to play with less fans in the stands.
Yeah.
I think they depend more on that than the NBA might. So I don't know.
They're asking players like Blake Snell. I don't know if you saw the clip of Blake Snell on his Twitch stream. He was like,
oh yeah,
did you see that?
I did. Yeah.
So yeah, basically, if you didn't see it, Blake Snell was talking about how he'd be making like a quarter of what he signed for, and I agree with him. It's like, why, it is so, it blows my fucking mind. It blows my mind that fans continuously side with billionaire owners instead of the millionaire players. Like,
Yeah.
it's always the players' fault because these businessmen, there's these smart businessmen, right? Like, oh, they could never do any wrong. They gave these guys a chance. Like, no, you're just rich, so you bought the team. These guys with their talent brought themselves to that position. You didn't start the MLB. You know what I mean? So it's like, and these guys are, I mean, Derek Jeter forewent his salary, but that dude's made $45 bajillion in his career, so it doesn't matter. Why isn't Steinbrenner cutting his salary?
It's funny. I think it's just out of sight, out of mind. So, we see on TV. I was going to say the newspaper. We see on Twitter how much somebody signs for. So I know how much. I know basically what Carlos Hyde signed for, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what Jody Allen, the owner of the team, is really worth. I don't really know what John Schneider makes.
A lot more than Carlos Hyde.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I know, but when and so I think the fan sits there and goes, "Well, fuck, I'd play for nothing." That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And so they have that mentality. So I get that because I've been there. I've felt that way, but we don't know. Fans don't see how much money the owners get, and they don't realize that. They said the owner might say, "Well, I lost $10 million this year." Yeah, but your franchise value went up $20 million.
Yeah.
So that's a
so your net worth went up. Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's where it comes from. Just the fans know the numbers. Fans know what Russell Wilson is making.
Right. Yeah.
And people are. Hell, people were like, don't sign Wilson, and all that kind of stuff. But, and I understand that, but yeah, I tell you what, I don't want Blake Snell on my team if that's his attitude.
Yeah,
if you don't want to fucking play, then get off my fucking team. Get your ass out there and play a game, you fool. You've got a short, limited amount of time to play that game. Get out there and do it while you can.
That's exactly the thing. How many throws does he have in his arm? You know what I mean? Why would he go out there and play for 10% of what he would be making? Why does he have to take a pay cut?
Because he's damn lucky to be playing a game. That's why.
Okay, I mean, why does he have to take a pay cut though? He shouldn't. He signed for a contract that said you will get paid this amount of money for each pitch you throw, and it's not structured like that, but that's essentially what it means. You know what I mean? You'll make this much money every season you play. Why, after he signed this contract, should he be able to just not make that money? Like, it makes no sense. When these billionaires are not, there's very, very few that are willing to take the burden on themselves when they're the ones that own the team. Like, if you're the owner of the team, you should be willing, you are in a position of risk, are you not? If you own a business, you're in a position of risk. You're taking a certain amount of risk on. So you got to be prepared. No one expects a pandemic to hit. You got to be prepared for that. You got to be prepared to maybe take a hit and not screw over the guys that, Blake Snell, I'm sure he's making, I think he signed for maybe a bunch of money. I mean, he's getting paid a good amount, but at the end of the day, the owner's making more than him, and the owner took on the risk of buying that company. So they're taking losses. That falls on you. Like, you know what I mean?
I guess what I would say is, and I don't know, what's the NBA doing as far as that? Like, if they start playing...
I think the players agreed to take like a 25% cut, but the MLB is trying to like really shaft the players. They're
I mean, I'm against that. I mean, I think everybody, in these times, everybody's got to suck it up a little bit and take a little bit of a hit. But I would say that, the bulk of the money this season should go to the players. Like, the owners shouldn't be pocketing stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, they should. I mean, they got to pay their staff and all that too. But yeah, I think there's a middle ground there somewhere.
Definitely, yeah. And by the way that Blake Snell presented his opinion was shitty.
That's the thing.
The way he presented it, he sounded like just an idiot.
Like present a good argument, dude.
Yeah, he was just. It sounded like he was just bitching. But I mean, I think the sentiment he expressed is held by, I'm pretty sure, a lot of the players. I know Bryce Harper kind of spoke out, and I think Bryce Harper actually had some intelligent thoughts on it. I think he put out on Instagram like his plan or whatever. I should have read through it, but it was a very long screenshot on his notes app. I just did not want to read through it.
Bryce Harper made 10% of what he is making. That would be a fair salary for him this year.
Okay, I mean, you could argue that there, honestly, yeah.
But yeah, I think, but if you're Blake if you're Blake Snell, you know what? You're hurting the players when you look like that.
Yeah.
Say it better, because people like me look at that and go, "Fuck you, dude. Go fuck yourself." Like, get out there and play. But deep in his head, he might have a valid argument somewhere, but I didn't see it. He just came off looking like a fool. So I'm like, go to hell, dude.
Jeff Passan actually was like, "Look, if I agree with a lot of what the players are saying, but you just need to everyone needs to shut the hell up and come together. The players need to come together and collectively come out with a statement.
Yes,
their side of the story, their argument, whatever you want to call it, because these players are speaking out. Blake Snell on his live stream in front of live viewers. It's like, you shouldn't be popping off like that when there's no way to edit anything of what he said. Like, he said it just live in front of however many people. You know what I mean? So whatever he says, especially as a guy that is one of the best pitchers in the MLB, he is representative of a lot of the league, at least as a face. Right. Maybe he's not even involved in the Players Association or whatever, but no matter what, as a pitcher, as a dominant pitcher, you're one of the faces of the league. So when you go out and say dumb shit like that, it's not even dumb shit that he was saying. Just the way he said it was dumb. He sounded like he was bitching and complaining about only, I can only make a few million. But it's like, he does have a good point. The way he presented it, awful.
And the funny thing is the baseball, MLB has probably the strongest players union out of all of them. I mean, that's the one league that doesn't have a salary cap.
Yeah.
That's the one. I mean, why the hell are some of those guys making what they are making? When
Garrett Cole just got paid like $700 million. Yeah. It's so nuts how much they're making. Actually.
So meanwhile, guys like LeBron are capped.
Yeah.
And the NFL does it a little differently, but Russell Wilson, if there's no salary cap, he would have made more than he got paid. For all of you who think he got paid too much, if there's no salary cap and he's on the open market,
he's making $100 million a year.
Yeah, because everybody needs a quarter. Many teams need a quarterback.
Jerry Jones would have paid him $200 million a year.
Yeah, seriously. So anyway, the MLB has a strong players union, so you would think they would be able to fight and get at least a fair deal out of it. But yeah, I think maybe they players just popping off.
I think they've done this is speculation, obviously. I think probably they've just done a bad job of telling players, like, look, we need to come together and come up with an intelligent, at least an intelligent sounding argument. I think maybe they're just like, oh, we don't know what's going on, but
and I get that too. Like, no, so if you're the NBA or hockey, you're okay, we might play, we might not, but at least you got half of the season in, and you could. It looks like they could probably put together some sort of a playoff.
Yeah,
who knows what, but something. If you're the MLB, it's like, do we have a season or not?
Yeah.
When? Like, nobody fucking knows. So I get why nobody has a plan. You can't have. I'm sure that they have some templates, in their minds, but you can't announce a plan, because what are you going to do? Say, oh, we're going to start June 1st, and then, then you're told that, no gathering. So, okay, never mind. I mean, they can't do that either. They can't announce shit and then have to re-announce something different. So they're just like, that's what it looks like from our perspective.
Yeah,
So I get it.
for sure. But yeah, so kind of like what I said earlier, the NBA, it seems like they're actually getting relatively close to finding a situation that would work for them. I think the most recent talks that opened up, I think it was like this morning or yesterday. They're talking with Disney, who is a massive sponsor of the NBA. Disney's ESPN Worldwide or Wide World of Sports complex. I didn't even know that was a thing. I never heard of it, but apparently there's this big complex where they'll be able to house everyone, and obviously with a Disney park. I don't know if it's a park or what it is, but obviously that'll be shut down right now, so no one else will. It would be kind of a bubble atmosphere, if you will.
Yeah, they have all those hotels.
Yeah.
Use them for something.
Yeah, for sure. And the NBA, the NBA PA, NBPA, and
whatever, the Players Association.
They are really working together and collaborating with the NBA to come back, unlike the players in the MLB. So we figured, why not run through what the playoff picture looks like right now and kind of make our picks. Yeah, so, I mean, I think, I'm pretty sure if there were to be any so-called regular season games left, it would probably only be a few just to kind of warm up.
Yeah.
So I don't think that you would see any playoff teams change. Obviously, you could be wrong with that, but I'll throw up a picture on screen right now of what the playoff picture looks like, and yeah, let's go ahead. So we'll start in the Western Conference. We'll go 1-8, Lakers and Grizzlies. Lakers. I mean, there's not.
What are the Sonics on here?
Who
gives a fuck? Who cares?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm speaking for all the 40-somethings right now.
Yeah, seriously.
Who the fuck cares? Okay, I'm gonna. Okay.
You know who cares? Someone that likes to get fucking entertained. Okay, I like watching sports. I'm sorry.
I'll play along, but I just have to say, fuck the NBA a little bit.
Man,
bring back my Sonics.
Fuck David Stern and Clay Bennett and Howard Schultz. That's how I feel.
But your guy, what's his name? Your commissioner?
Silver.
Where's my team? Where's my team?
Give him a chance. Okay. Here's a Mason Co show podcast guarantee. Adam Silver will bring back the Sonics before he's done being the commissioner. Right. I can guarantee that.
All right,
I just had
to throw it out there. I'll play along with your little game here.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's play then.
I don't really give a shit.
Lakers or Memphis?
Well, the Lakers. They're gonna shake the rust off of LeBron, and
for sure.
He's well rested, so I can't see Memphis putting.
And we discussed this last week, but in our opinion, the older teams will benefit from this. It'll be more like just kind of getting rest and less getting rusty. At least that's kind of what it feels like.
It was interesting to hear. We both heard a podcast with Vince Carter. What's that podcast?
All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. I might have mentioned it already on here, but it's very, very good podcast. They have insane guests all the time.
Yeah, I don't listen to it very often unless it's someone that really jumps out at me, but it is pretty good. But it's a lot of NBA, so I'm not,
Right, yeah.
But it was interesting to hear Carter talk. I mean, first of all, talking about the different eras of basketball, which we can get into another time. Mm-hmm. But he was talking about, who's going to benefit the veteran teams or the young teams with this layoff, and he felt like the old guys need the rest and benefit from that. The young guys won't really know what they're resting up for. They're going to, So advantage old guys is what Vince Carter was saying. And if anybody knows, it's Vince Carter.
Definitely,
been in the league for 22 years. So.
Apparently, LeBron has been having workouts with some of the guys too. I don't know the legality of that, but apparently he's been holding workouts. I don't know if other teams have also or not, but if anyone will, I guess, be able to rope their guys together and get them moving again, I feel like it would be LeBron.
Right.
Yeah, and then Memphis, I mean, great young team. In a few years, I could see them being next up as one of the really dangerous teams in a strong West. But For right now, I mean, I don't see how they get. Maybe they win one game at home. Otherwise, I think they're getting swept. All right, on the other side, Milwaukee versus Orlando. Another easy answer. Milwaukee. They're gonna sweep them.
Is Penny and Shaq
Still play for Orlando?
No.
Okay, then I'll go Milwaukee.
Yeah, Hito Turkoglu doesn't either. Okay, so back to the West. We'll go 2 or 7. Clippers versus Dallas. Now, there's only I guess I don't know. So Clippers are 44-20. Dallas is 40-27. There is from 2 to that for a 2 to 7. Like that is not a big difference. And Dallas, if they have everyone healthy, I mean, you give Kristaps Porzingis some more time to. I'm pretty sure he's healthy right now, but you give him more time to, I don't know, build his strength or whatever he needs to do. And obviously you got Luka. You know, I think he's the next. I don't know. I don't want to label who he'd be the next of, but I think he's next up, like in the NBA. I mean, who doesn't? He's already averaging almost.
You can't guard your mom, but other than that, he's
okay.
Really good.
He averages almost a 30-point triple double at like 20 years old or whatever. So, I think the Clippers win this though. I think they probably take it in 5 or maybe 6.
Yeah, you got the Finals MVP and Porzingis. Isn't he that tall guy that gets hurt all the time?
Yeah. Yes,
so he's gonna play. He's one of those guys I think that's gonna suffer from the layoff. He's gonna come back. You
think Porzingis would suffer?
Yeah, he's gonna have minimal warm up time.
True.
And then he's gonna play big minutes and he's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I don't know. I think it really comes down to what he's been doing recently because
There's nothing though. If you don't play in a game, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, he also didn't play in a game for like 2 years straight, and he came back.
But when you come back, you can ramp up slowly, right?
Yeah, good point. Well, that's what I'm saying.
You can play a quarter in the preseason game, and then a half, and then blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But he's going to come back. They're going to play, they'll probably play 3 to 5 games or something like, I don't know what their exact plan is. They're going to play a few games and they can rest then. But then when the playoffs start, are you going to limit his minutes? So I would be concerned about injury prone guys getting hurt as well.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that either. Guys being rusty that would impact, I guess, kind of injury-prone dudes a lot more. On the other side, you got Toronto and Brooklyn. Now, normally I would just say Toronto, book it. I mean, by the way, the gap between 2 and 7 in the West versus the East, Toronto is 46-18. Brooklyn is 30-34. Yeah, a much larger gap in the East there. But
no, Brooklyn, they've got KD and they've got. I'm just kidding.
Okay. KD actually might come back though. KD could come back.
Oh wow.
So
that would be kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think he kind of hinted that. I don't know how true that is. If I were to guess, I mean, I don't know. It's the playoffs though. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you got KD and Kyrie though in the playoffs, I mean, the thing is they still haven't played together. So
right.
I think there would still. Maybe, you still got to build that chemistry. They haven't had the chance to kind of build that up throughout the season. I mean, maybe personally, I'm sure they're close or whatever, but
Toronto,
just playing together. Who knows how KD comes back?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Toronto feels to me like a team that could be upset. They don't have a real superstar.
Yeah,
so they're a bunch of solid guys. And sometimes those solid teams are the ones that can get upset.
Yeah, because
but I don't see Brooklyn and hey, if KD comes back as in top form, maybe. But there's too big of a talent gap there, I would say.
And so in the playoffs, you got a lot of the times the rotation will get shortened a little. I mean, Toronto, I'm pretty sure they ran a 7-man rotation all through the playoffs, which is just kind of nuts. But that's just kind of how it goes in the playoffs. So when you got a team like Toronto this year, who the reason they're so good is, I mean, they were deep last year too, but they just didn't run a super deep rotation. Their strength this year is that they have such a deep team behind Pascal Siakam, who is a budding star. But in the playoffs, that depth doesn't quite matter as much as just your top talent. So yeah, I mean, still give me Toronto whether KD's back or not, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even confident KD will be kind of what he was. I don't know.
I think he'll be better next year than he would this year.
Yeah,
I think it's,
definitely.
You know, it just that's an injury that takes a while. So I think he could come back and be effective, but he's not going to be a superstar level right now.
For sure. Back to the West now, 3-6. You got Denver versus Houston. I don't like the Rockets. I don't like the way they play. I don't like PJ Tucker being a center. I don't like James Harden. I don't like the way. I guess I have mixed feelings on Russell Westbrook. It's really fun watching him play, but I don't like the way he plays. If he would piss me off if he were on my team. We'll put it like that. I like watching him just as a fan of basketball. He's just fun to watch. He goes as hard as he can on every single play. Harden is having a down year, and he already isn't good in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, give me the Nuggets. They got a center running point guard, and they're gonna have a small forward guarding him. So,
I can't name one player on Denver.
Really?
No.
Okay, so no, all my dad's opinions on the NBA this year are null and void. Anything my dad says about any team in the NBA is null and void. So no, they have Jokic, one of the most skilled, you could argue the most skilled offensively skilled big man of all time. Defense, he's not that great. But and then they also got Jamal Murray, who is a lights out shooter, solid point guard, and they just have a lot of depth. They just have a lot of dudes. And Michael Porter Jr. was really solid this year. They got Bull, who I don't think ever plays, but he's there. I mean, he's tall, so
he's very tall.
They just got a lot of. They just got another team. I guess they do. One of their big strengths is their depth. So. Maybe a team like the Rockets that just has a few big stars and not a lot of depth, maybe they are set up better for that series. But I'd still give me Denver, I think.
Give me Houston in that first round.
Okay. So let's see. What else we got? We got 3-6 in the East. Boston versus Philly. Now, Philly, I don't think anyone expected them to only be a 6 seed. They have not done super well, and specifically when Ben Simmons and Embiid are on the court at the same time, they haven't done well, surprisingly.
They seem like a collection of good players that don't know. They're a fantasy basketball team.
Yeah.
When you don't give a shit about chemistry.
Right, yeah.
And you just put together the best guys you can.
Yeah.
Like it's in a vacuum, but... Yeah, it doesn't seem like they play together that well. They've definitely been a disappointment because they certainly have a lot of talent.
Yeah, and the Celtics, I'm pretty sure they were getting really, really hot there. I think at the end of the season, obviously, now the momentum is gone, but I think like Jason Tatum was averaging like 30 a game for like a month. So. Let's see. They were really hot. So their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They won out 15 out of the last 16. So they were really on fire there.
It seems like this season. Before the season started, did this seem like the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, no, Milwaukee. It would have been Milwaukee and one of those teams.
Right. But they shouldn't be, like, them meeting in the first round seems
It's very
really
odd.
weird.
It's very odd.
You would have expected them to be the 2 and 3 seeds and meet it in the next round.
Definitely, Boston, they would have been the expected 2 and 3 seeds, kind of pick one, I guess, before the season. But... them being 3-6 is definitely very shocking. I didn't even realize that was the case until I just looked at this right now. That's pretty wild. Back over to the West, you got the Jazz and the Thunder.
I got some deep analysis for you.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? Fuck the Thunder.
I knew exactly that was what you were going to say.
Yeah, that's my analysis for this series.
Fuck the Thunder. They're going to win this series, I think, though.
What? No.
Yeah, so
No, not going to happen.
I will say the Thunder. I thought the Thunder were going to be one of the worst teams in the NBA this year. The fact that they are a 5 seed to me is shocking. But yeah, I mean Chris Paul has been outstanding this year, and also Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You got Steven Adams, and we talked about this. We touched on this on a few episodes ago. Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. I don't know if their relationship is good. I think they say they're fine or whatever, but a teammate doesn't just come out and say that they don't like you, especially during a time like this where no one's talking to media.
Right.
Like, it's very, I mean, how does that slip out? I mean, it really must be something, like that.
It's funny. Those things, you just never know. Sometimes they mean everything, and sometimes guy speaks out emotionally and he's an emotional guy.
Yeah.
And people laugh it off and it's fine. But sometimes it can't ever be repaired.
So I'm taking
Who knows?
this before, if I didn't know that this potential riff was happening between Mitchell and Gobert, it would have been literally 50-50 toss it up for me. I don't know who would have won this. I might have even gone with the Jazz just because I think Donovan Mitchell is, I think Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert are probably the two best players in that series. Arguably, I mean, you could pick Chris Paul and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander easily, but I think give me the Thunder there. I hate to say it, but it doesn't matter.
Take off that sweatshirt right
they're
now.
They're getting swept in the next round by LeBron anyway, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm guessing. I mean, with your limited information, you're picking the Jazz. I would assume.
Fuck the Thunder.
Fuck the
Did I
Thunder,
not
yeah.
tell you my reasoning for picking
you're right.
the Jazz or whoever the hell the Thunder are playing?
All right, Miami versus Indiana. Give me Miami, 100%. Indiana, I'm surprised is up there as a 5 seed with Victor Oladipo being hurt all year, but Oladipo has not been the same this year. You can't argue with me that he has. He just has not been the same this year after his injury, which is unfortunate because I really like Oladipo. But you got Jimmy Butler, a veteran, and you got guys like Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, around surrounding him. So yeah, I mean, I think Miami has more star power. I think Miami's deeper, and they have home court advantage. I don't see how they don't win that series personally.
Yeah, give me Miami. That's got to be the least interesting matchup.
I would say
in this whole bracket.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Actually, one sec. Okay. Okay. No, this is actually a very interesting matchup. You want to know why? Jimmy Butler and T.J. Warren absolutely hate each other, and like Jimmy Butler
Here
is.
you are with your soap opera.
No.
This is the NBA's a big
Shut
soap
up, man.
opera.
Okay, if you probably love to see Jordan and the Pistons match up, right? Because they hated each other. So, Jimmy Butler, like T.J. Warren, like said something about Jimmy Butler's mom or something on the court, and like
Don't say anything about somebody's mama.
Yeah,
That's
they
rule
like
number one.
they like threw hands and stuff, and they've hated each other for years and years. So I think that'd be really interesting to see them match up in the playoffs. Oh, is T.J. Warren? He's not hurt, is he? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Still not a crazy interesting series. I think it could be a close series, which kind of makes it interesting. If it's a close series, that just makes it interesting inherently, I guess. But anyway, back to, let's see. We're in the second round now. So we got Lakers versus OKC. OKC gets swept. Yeah, what do you think?
So they're going to be playing
Jazz.
Utah.
Yeah, you have the
because
Jazz.
Fuck OKC.
Yeah, fuck OKC. Yeah.
It's hard. Like, I'm trying to think, though. Would I rather see OKC lose in the first round or get completely dismantled by the Lakers? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's a tough decision.
It's a tough choice. But either way, the Lakers win that series, assuming that they're even in reasonably good health. I mean, they're just a better team, and they have the star power. So.
Oh yeah. All right. So for me, it's Denver versus the Clippers. For you, it's the Rockets versus the Clippers. Rockets Clippers would be a really interesting series. I think more interesting just as far as kind of the star power in the series. It would be more interesting to watch than Denver versus the Clippers. But I think still give me the Clippers regardless. Their record is not very much better than those two teams, but you got to remember they've been
Load
resting
management.
they've been resting guys which now it looks really dumb because everyone's had a month off anyway. But going into the playoffs, if everyone's a little bit more fresh, and even it seems like they haven't cost themselves anything. Maybe they could have been the 1 seed. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, maybe they could have been the 1 seed if they, played Kawhi and Paul George every single game. But at the same time, chances are they're getting out of the first round anyway. I don't know. I mean, either way, regardless of that.
Yeah, the thing is, the Lakers and the Clippers are going to meet in the Western Conference.
I
Finals.
think that's
There's
what
nothing
everyone
that's gonna
expects.
Stop that.
Yeah. So give me the Clippers over Denver, and for you're taking Clippers over
Yeah, I mean,
Houston.
those two teams, the Lakers and the Clippers, are so much better than anything else on that side of the bracket.
I would agree.
In terms of star power, in terms of overall team, I don't see any way those two teams don't make it. And upsets can happen, but I think I'd be really shocked if we see anything other than those two teams in the Western Conference Finals.
Me too. Milwaukee versus Miami. Give me Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I mean, we have yet to kind of see playoff Giannis, kind of come out and really dominate like he would have to win a championship. But I think Milwaukee, obviously, you got more star power. In my opinion, Chris Middleton is better than Jimmy Butler, so their second best player is better than Miami's best player. Obviously, Giannis is better than anyone else on the court, probably in the whole league. So, yeah, I mean, and they're deeper, in my opinion. So, give me Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, Milwaukee is going to go to the. I feel this, what I just said on the other side, except for Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Makes it to the finals.
Yeah.
I hate to jump ahead, but I just don't see.
No, I agree. I mean,
I don't see a lot else there that could really get in their way. They're gonna need some of their outside shooters to perform because we know the Greek Freak they're gonna try to bottle him up, and he's worked on other aspects of his game, but I think they're gonna be tough to beat. At least until they get to the finals.
Yeah. Boston versus Toronto. Now, Toronto is the higher seed. They're 3 games ahead in the standings. I think give me Boston, though. Like I said, they won 15 out of their last 16, which who knows if that, I guess, kind of momentum will carry over. But I think Boston was really hitting their stride. I think they've kind of found what works for them. And I think they've got more star power than Toronto. I mean, Pascal Siakam looks really, really good this year. I just don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, I like Boston there. Like I said, I think Toronto's a team that looks like they're upset ready.
Yeah.
Maybe even in the first round. If not, I think Boston or even Philly, I think, takes care of business there.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's stay in the East. We'll go Milwaukee versus Boston. We obviously both think Milwaukee is set to make it to the finals. I think Boston would put up a bigger fight. I think that goes to 6. I think Boston maybe puts up a bigger fight than some people think. I can see that going to 6 or even 7. And then who knows, like I said, will playoff Giannis come out and eat, or will he kind of... I don't know. I mean, he has to elevate above and beyond what he's already doing to be kind of in that playoff mode where he's taken over a whole series. So it'll be interesting. I just really want to see if he can kind of develop into which route he goes. Is he going to be the guy that steps up every year in the playoffs and takes his team far, or is he going to be the guy that's considered the choker?
I think he's a guy that if you put an elite defender, if you put the best defender in the league on him, he may not make it. So, last year
he had the claw.
It was Kawhi on him.
Yeah.
So
claw really shut him down last year too.
Yeah. And obviously you're gonna mix up the defense a little bit, but I don't. Is there anyone in the East that is that level of defender?
I don't think
Probably
anyone
not.
in the East can really defend Giannis.
I mean, you need a 6'7" to 6'9" guy. that can really move and wants it.
Yeah.
You know, which sometimes that's a lot of it. They don't want it bad enough. So he's a guy that's going to feast on most of the league. But you know, you put like a Scottie Pippen in his prime, you know, he's going to struggle there. You put Kawhi on him, he's going to struggle there unless he may never be a great 3-point shooter, but he's going to have to expand his game before he can. He's going to have to force guys like Kawhi to come way out there, and then he can hopefully, you know, try to get around him.
It's crazy because if you drop Giannis in the 90s, I mean, he would have been like, man, I mean, he would probably be more dominant in the 90s than he is now even. Because I think he could handle the hand checks.
Yeah.
And he would be able to power through all that stuff. And also, he doesn't need a jump shot. I mean,
to be not a 3-point shot anyway.
To be a big man in the 90s, you don't really have to have a jump shot like that. It'd be interesting, although I guess he might not be used like he should in the 90s. Depending on what coach he has, I don't think you might not see him bringing the ball up the court or really handling it a lot. He might just be kind of chilling in the post, and they might not use his athleticism quite like they should. I don't know. It's hard to say, though. Anyway, the series that everyone has been anticipating since the signing of Kawhi Leonard and the trade of Paul George, the Battle of LA in the Western Conference Finals. You know, it's tough.
Let me give you a hypothetical here.
Yeah.
Before you break it down.
Yeah.
So, if you're a Lakers fan, okay, you get one of two options here. Either A, you get LeBron taking a pretty much not a wide open shot, but a on balance shot. Mm-hmm. To you know, they're down by one, and he's taking the shot.
Yeah.
Game 7 of this series.
Mm-hmm.
So you freeze right there. Do you take that? Or do you say leave it wide open to anything happening? Which one would you want? Do you want LeBron with the ball with that shot?
LeBron.
Okay,
yeah.
so you don't want to just throw it open and anything can happen.
If that's the goal, is to give LeBron a good shot.
Okay, gotcha.
So I mean that's
Okay, so go ahead. What you got?
So I mean, there's a few different ways to kind of slice this. You could look at it in terms of the stars. Obviously, you got Kawhi and Paul George versus LeBron and AD. I think in that situation, the Lakers are better. I think LeBron and AD is a better duo than Kawhi and Paul George. You can look at it, you know, the Clippers might be. I mean, they're probably the two best defensive teams in the league. You could also look at it. Will the Lakers have an answer for a guy like Lou Will, who will come off the bench and give you 25? You know what I mean? So will the Lakers have an answer? Not that Kawhi, Paul George, and LeBron and AD will necessarily cancel each other out, but you know all those guys are gonna have their games. They're gonna score their points, get their numbers.
Is there really a guy named Lou Will?
Lou Williams.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like Lou Will. Okay.
Yeah. He's like, I mean, he's notorious coming off the bench and scoring. He's won Sixth Man of the Year like 20 times. People, it's interesting. The debate with him in Sixth Man of the Year is interesting because he comes off the bench, but he plays like 25, 30 minutes a game.
Right.
So it's
he
like
plays basically starters.
Yeah, he plays starter minutes, but So I mean, will the Lakers have a guy off the bench that can answer that? You know, not only hold him, but who's the guy that'll give you a bucket when you need it off the Lakers bench? Now I'm guessing you probably won't have AD and LeBron off the court both at the same time ever. I'm guessing at least one of them will be on the court at all times, but. You know, sometimes you can't lean 100% on those two guys. Not that they're not capable, but, you know, I mean, you never know how a game's going to go when you need a guy to step up. So I think, I mean, I'm taking the Lakers. I have a kind of a LeBron bias, I guess, but I think the Lakers are just as deep as them. I think their star power is better than the Clippers. And also, we haven't looked at the age thing at all. Actually, it's funny. They're right next to each other as far as average age. They're respectively the third and fourth oldest teams in the NBA, and also the Rockets and the Bucks are right up there too.
Wow.
I have 1 and 2, so yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. So the Clippers to me are a deeper team. It sounds like maybe you disagree with that a little bit.
I don't.
But
I might say they're deeper, but in the playoffs, I don't think that depth. They're a little deep. They're like slightly deeper, but in the playoffs, I guess the impact of that depth is minimized.
does it mean more this year with a shortened situation? Like, if you're a coach, can you, first of all, does everybody, are you going to have injuries? And then also, I guess if you get in the finals, yeah, you probably just roll it out there and you play everybody full minutes.
I think depth means less this year. Guys, no one's tired.
See, but you need, I don't know. If you, like, I don't know if you can just play 7 guys, in a short situation like this. So I think, without really ramping up to that, I don't know. It's definitely a factor, and I'm not really sure which way it goes.
That's the thing, is it could impact it either way.
Yeah,
like we haven't seen.
I do think more guys are more likely to get injured.
Yeah, I do too.
Because they're going to get thrown out there too fast.
So that's why there's the thought of, like Vince Carter was talking about, maybe 5 games where they just kind of almost 5 scrimmages.
Yeah,
where they don't even really count towards the record, but every team plays. Just so you can kind of, maybe LeBron only plays in the first half. And maybe, you give LeBron, like, say they play 5 games. You give LeBron 15 minutes, then 25, then 30.
Yeah.
And then, before you know it, he's back to where he needs to be. So I'm hoping that they have a plan in place where they can get guys going again, actually to 100%. Obviously, you probably won't be able to fully get there, but I hope they'll be able to get guys to at least like 90% to where this will benefit them, where it really will be like just a month of rest instead of a month of rust.
Right.
Wow, rest or rust. Okay.
So I'm I think before the season started, I said Lakers. I think I'm going to go Clippers here.
Wow. Okay.
Because I think having a little bit more depth is going to mean something in this short season. You're going to have some guys get banged up. You probably aren't going to want to give everybody big minutes. I think having a couple more guys on your bench means more than it would have. So, the situation that we're in, it changes, what would have been my pick. I would have gone with the Lakers, but I'm going to go Clippers now.
Put $5 on it?
Also, just to screw with you. That's probably part of it.
Yeah, let's put $5 on it.
$5. You got it.
$5 if they meet in the conference finals.
I think I still owe you $5 from something else.
You might. I don't know. Yeah. So now we already talked about Milwaukee versus Boston. So in the finals, I have Lakers Bucks. You have Clippers Bucks. This is going 7 games in my mind. And in Game 7, every Game 7 is really a toss-up. I don't think LeBron is going to let himself lose another finals, though. I think he's going to...
Well, he's not going to lose the finals because he's going to lose the Western Conference.
Yeah, no, I think give me LeBron. Giannis, like I said, hasn't proven himself to be this monster in the playoffs. I think the Lakers being possibly the best defensive team in the league, they'll be able to not only not hold Giannis, but keep him from blowing up in a game, and also they'll be able to defend the perimeter where you can't just kick it out to Chris Middleton and have him shoot every time. They have enough defenders everywhere to stop that, in my mind. And I think
who's going to guard him on the Lakers?
I'm guessing LeBron will be on the perimeter, and then AD will be on heavy help, and also whatever other center. I'm guessing you'll see probably AD on the perimeter, LeBron on the perimeter, and then once he gets into the inside, you'll have Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee. Not at the same time, though they're always on the court at separate times, but you'll have one of them kind of guarding the paint, and also AD in there too if LeBron's guarding on the perimeter. I remember in a regular season game they had Caruso out there on the perimeter guarding fucking Giannis.
MVP.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's what I
They'll
would
probably
think.
mix it up a lot.
Yeah, what I would think is they'll probably mix it up a decent bit. Rondo is actually a pretty good perimeter defender, so I could see him maybe kind of squaring up with him and trying to swipe a few steals. But to me, if I were in charge of it, I put LeBron on the perimeter and AD heavy on help side, and also whatever center is playing with him. So
I
yeah,
think McGee or Dwight Howard are going to be, if that's who we're counting on. I think they're going to end up on some posters.
oh yeah, I mean Giannis will get his for sure.
Yeah.
Especially a guy like JaVale McGee is just prone to being on low light tapes. I mean, he just does dumb shit all the time. He's Shaq'd in a Fool.
Huh?
Shaq'd in a Fool. So it's like Shaq has a thing on TNT. It's like the not top plays or come on man.
Right.
It's
right.
like oh, he's Shaq'd in a Fool.
Okay. Yeah.
So JaVale McGee has been on there like 6 times, and JaVale actually had to tweet at Shaq like, "Look, I'm getting bullied, man. Like you have to stop." But anyway, little tangent, but yeah, Giannis will get his for sure. That's why I'm saying I don't think the Lakers will shut him down, but I think they can maybe hold him a little, keep him under 30 points a game, maybe keep him under 12 rebounds. If they keep him under his averages, they'll win.
Right.
And I think they'll be able to do that. So
Yeah, I think I like whoever comes out of the Western Conference. I think I like them to win the title.
So for you, the Clippers.
Yeah. So I'll go Clippers on that one. I like Kawhi on the Greek Freak a lot.
He absolutely locked him
Yeah.
when he was guarding him in that series last year.
And that's probably why I've seen it. I watched that series more than anything I've watched in the last 15 years. But so I like that matchup, and I just think that would be a real problem for Milwaukee. And then the Lakers, I just think they would have more overall power. I think Giannis will get. I think he'll get, like you said, he's gonna be a problem for them.
Yeah.
And he's gonna push it and make it difficult on them. But I think that they can answer on the other end with their offense. So.
I think the Western Conference Finals and the Finals probably both go to 7. No matter. I mean,
I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, just for interesting content. I mean, obviously, neither of us have any investment.
You're a Lakers.
Well,
boy.
okay, yeah, I was gonna, yeah. Let me finish. Neither of us have investment into a team. I'm a big LeBron fan, so I want him to win another ring. But if he loses in the final, like I'm not gonna be devastated. I won't like be sad if he loses in the finals or something. I'll be annoyed. I'll be like, God damn it, here we go. Like I'm just gonna have to
You're gonna have to listen to me.
hear from your
forever.
ass. Yeah. I can't have him being 3-7 in the finals, man. I just can't let that, like that just can't happen. But no, I think I think the whole like who wants it more is bullshit. I don't like that like spin on things.
There are guys I think that hate losing more than others.
Yeah.
I think some guys are okay with losing if they get their points. So I
think
there is
LeBron.
an aspect to
I think
that.
LeBron will not let himself lose in the finals again. And it's funny because people like it would somehow, some way reflect better on him if he loses in the Western Conference Finals than if he loses in the NBA Finals. And that's true. You can't say it's not true because no one would talk about this season. People would say, "Oh, he's 3-7 in the finals." No one would talk about him losing to the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. So when he makes it to the finals and plays against the best team of all time in the Warriors and loses, it's like, how can you like?
I think
he made it to the finals.
I think you're right when people look back. Like if you fast forward 5 years from now, you're correct. But for the next off season, it would be a big deal.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
But eventually,
you're right.
people would slip from memory, and then you just bring up that stat of finals, and so long term, you're right. Short term, he'll get blasted.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Especially if he misses a big shot or
Right.
yeah, there's a lot of pressure on his GOAT status.
Mm-hmm.
I think this could turn it for some people.
I think
Especially if he's the reason if there's a last second shot and he hits it, or if he misses it, like that could hinge.
Yeah.
The scales could change one way or the other.
Yeah, and I know for you, I think you said it would take 2 for sure to pass Jordan. Like 1 makes it kind of arguable for you. I think a decent amount could also hinge on, does Anthony Davis win Finals MVP or does LeBron? I don't know how much it's hard to tell how much that'll matter to people, but I think as long as LeBron has a good series and wins the finals, I think that really would change some people's minds.
It could, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, those are our picks. I think with that, we could probably wrap it up here. Follow me on Twitter at Mason Charles Co. You are at Aaron Co 29 on Twitter. I have not been tweeting recently. I have not been on Twitter a ton. Just been working and doing other stuff.
It's hard. There's just not
there's
a
nothing.
lot. Like,
all I'm seeing is
tweet?
all I'm seeing is like stuff about COVID and political stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like I really, really, really try to avoid politics on Twitter. Like I unfollow people that tweet.
Is the Republicans or the Democrats' fault? I can't remember. Which one is it? It's definitely one or the other. I forget which though.
Yeah. So I've been off Twitter. I mean, there's nothing to tweet about right now.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I've been trying to get on Twitter more and kind of put my thoughts out there because I have some just random funny thoughts just when I'm out working or in the shower or stuff. I'd like to put them out there, but it's like you said, it's tough.
Well, hopefully things are going to get rolling. I mean, we're hearing more and more talk about things happening, college football and the NFL. It sounds like it may really happen.
Yeah.
If not right on time, then fairly soon. Fans, no fans, some fans, we don't know yet, but the stuff is coming, so everybody just hang in there, and there's going to be a lot of stuff to get excited about pretty soon here, one way or another.
Yeah. Buy the book on audiobook on Amazon, hard copy on lulu.com. By the way, it's called High Points. If you can't read it from here, I don't know if you even know if we said the title of the book.
I don't know.
Yeah, High Points. It's a good book. I mean, I don't really read books, and I read it pretty quick. Obviously, I got bias here, but support your local businesses. Follow the rules. Here's the thing, man. Just even if you don't believe in the rules, just follow them to not piss people off. Find your motivation to follow the rules. Whether it's safety, other people's safety, not having to argue with people that disagree with you. Just it's easier in life if you just stay silent and follow the herd of cattle. You know what I mean?
The one rule that you can use to get through life? Don't be a dick.
I actually
sometimes I'm a dick.
Yeah,
sometimes I violate the rule.
Yeah.
But if you don't be a dick, things usually go pretty well.
You know a credo?
Yeah.
We had to write one of those in 10th grade, and that was my credo. Don't be a dick. Literally, that word for word. That was like my thesis, was don't be a dick.
So, wear a mask, don't be a dick.
Yeah, I mean, also, just be nice to service people.
Yeah.
Just be nice to service workers. They're providing things for you, and they don't want to be there, and they're not getting paid enough a lot of the time. So, I mean, this falls under don't be a dick as well.
Yes.
But especially to people like that. I've been, having worked in service for a little bit now, I haven't dealt with too many assholes, but I've seen some of my coworkers and stuff deal with that, and it just makes their day worse, and they just have to deal with it a lot. So yeah, anyway, that's my little message of the day, I guess. Thank you for listening. Mystery word is Hydro Flask. So if you're still listening, text or call Hydro Flask, and we'll be happy. Again, I don't know if you're still listening or watching. Don't know why. I mean, we say this every week, but this is just something fun that we do. And whether people are listening or not, we're gonna keep doing it. So you're gonna have to keep seeing our tweets talking about new podcasts being up. But thank you guys very much. I mean, you got anything else?
No, that's about it. Let's get some. I'm ready for some football. I'm ready to talk about football. Let's get it going.
All right. Thank you guys. Peace out. See ya.